thank you for that very warm welcome. It's really fantastic to see you all here and to be here in Reading in the sun with a cricket pitch in the summer. These things don't happen like this very often. How very English, although there's a football pitch over there as well, I see. But it is really incredible to be here for what I hope will be a summer of change, of real change. And, you know, if you're a family that's been struggling these past few years with the cost of living crisis bearing down on you, if you're a business, we were talking to businesses earlier today that struggled again over the last few years because of the failures of this government, if you've been serving in uniform or serving your community, then this campaign, this summer of change, is for you. Because this is an election that is about a very stark choice and about a very, very real change that we can put on the agenda. I am so pleased to be standing with Olivia Blake, Liv to all of us, Liv Bailey, who worked for me for many years. She has been part of the change in our party. Liv Bailey is the person who did so much work for me, driving through policy for a changed Labour Party, a Labour Party that said no to gesture politics, yes to the politics of service. And Liv has been living through that, working on that for all those years with me. And so I'm so pleased that she is a brilliant candidate here and will be an even more brilliant MP when we get that over the line on July the 4th. And this campaign feels good for us because we've got a good, strong plan in our manifesto to create wealth, to drive Britain forward, to create jobs of the future. We've got a positive spirit, a good case to tell to the country. And we've been saying that for days now on every single door. Thank you to all of you for the work that you've done, carrying that message on Liv's behalf in this constituency. But there's always a but with Labour politics. But we've still got a long way to go. Not a single seat has been won, and we have to earn every vote. And remember, and here Liv Bailey is a very good place to remember, that every fight is an individual fight in an individual constituency where every single vote matters. And we must carry that forward into the final weeks and days of this campaign. Earning trust, earning confidence, confident in our plan, but making sure that we get our message across, which is that every vote counts, every vote is to be earned, and if you want change, you have to vote for it. And so we go out and make our case, firstly, that we have a plan for the future, a plan to change our country for the better, and to give people a real sense of what would happen on day one of a Labour government. Sleeves rolled up, much like this, sitting round, starting with our first steps in government, because things are so broken in this country. The country is looking to us to provide the change, and they want us to get on with it from day one. So we can get on with that work of rebuilding our NHS, getting those appointments so we can get waiting lists down, making sure we've got the teachers in our secondary schools to give every person the best chance wherever they are, whatever their background, making sure we've got the police to crack down on antisocial behaviour, Great British Energy, you name it. We've got the first steps that we will be getting on from day one to deliver the change that this country so desperately needs. So we have the plan. We have the confidence and assurance in our plan. And we also have to say to everybody contemplating their vote on the 4th of July, imagine 5 more years of the Tories. 5 more years. After 14 years of chaos and decline and failure, where nobody but nobody can answer the question, it ought to be a simple question in any election, what is actually better now than 14 years ago? And they can't answer that basic question. We've seen all sorts of Conservative strategies, but they haven't gone out to the country saying, here's our brilliant record, surely you want more of this, because they know they'd be laughed at. They haven't gone out and said, look at our brilliant leadership, you know, at least you get strong leadership. So nothing to put before the country, and they're not going to change. And this is the important thing. Chaos and division have been the name of the game now for 14 years, and that's the reason for the failure. They haven't changed. Their election campaign is showing that chaos and division is still sort of defining characteristic of this Tory campaign. And so we have to say, do not allow 5 more years of this. But we also say, imagine Imagine an incoming Labour government. Imagine a government committed to rebuilding our NHS and making it fit for the future. Imagine a Labour government committed to our public services and making sure they're delivering across the piece. Imagine a Labour government prepared to set up Great British Energy, a publicly owned energy company, generating renewals to keep energy bills down for good, to creating the jobs of the future. Imagine a Labour government committed to the infrastructure build that we need, the roads, the rail that we need, the houses that we desperately need so that people can have a secure roof over their head that they can afford. Imagine the change that we can bring about with a Labour government committed to building that better future. So we have to get out there. We have to make this argument. There's a long, long way to go. Every vote counts. But the contrast in the campaigns is clear. The choice is absolutely clear. It's a straight choice. More of the chaos and division and failure that we've had over the last 14 years, because they're not going to change, or turn the page and start to rebuild our country with Labour. Let's go forward, Liv. Let's win this constituency. Let's get that Labour government. Vote Labour. Thank you very much. Thank you.